Good morning, students. Today we are continuing the balance portion of the endocrine chapter. The last class we have learned about hypothalamus and pancreas. Today we are going to learn about another gland, that is thyroid gland. First point is about where it is located. What about its position? Here in the picture, we can understand that it is positioned on either side of trachea. This is trachea. It is positioned on either side of the trachea, just before the larynx. Larynx is voice box. Just before larynx, on either side of the trachea, the thyroid gland is located, and it consists parts. Second point is about its parts. It has two lobes are there, and its two lobes are connected by a joint called the isthmus. And what is its peculiarity? It is highly vascular. It is rich with blood vessels, and also have so much nerves also present there. It is innervated by which all nerves? Branches of autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system means the nervous system that control all involuntary actions, the actions beyond our control. Heartbeat, respiration, body functions are controlled under the control of autonomic nervous system. So from the autonomic nervous system, nerves are innervating to this thyroid gland. Then next point is about the hormones secreted by this thyroid gland. Which are the hormones secreted by thyroid gland? Thyroxine. Thyroxine is otherwise written as T4, and 93% of the hormone is thyroxine, and about 7% hormone produced from thyroid gland is triiodothyronine. It is otherwise called T3. And last, one more hormone is secreted by thyroid gland, that is calcitonin. This thyroxine, triiodothyronine, all are iodinated derivatives of amino acid tyrosine. All are derivatives of tyrosine. Tyrosine's iodinated derivatives. Okay. Next slide. Then we are going to see about its functions. Functions of these hormones. This thyroxine and triiodothyronine both are similar, same with respect to its functions. But some difference exists, mainly to their rapidity and the intensity of the action. With respect to these two aspects, some difference exists between thyroxine and triiodothyroxine. And coming to triiodothyronine, it is 4 times more potent than thyroxine, but its amount and lifespan is very less when compared with the thyroxine. And it is soon distracted after the use, and also it is produced only in least amount, that you have already seen in the slide that we just passed. That is in this slide. It's only 7% triiodothyronine, but thyroxine is up to 93% hormones produced by thyroid gland is thyroxine. Then, to mention about the major functions, we need to enumerate each one by one. First function, it stimulate the rate of cellular metabolism, increase the rate of cellular metabolism. Metabolism is going on inside each cell, and that metabolic rate will be stimulated, increased by these hormones. And by stimulating, increasing the metabolism at cellular level, it results in the generation of more heat energy. And second function, it is essential for tissue differentiation, growth, and skeletal maturation. And also in the case of amphibians, all these frogs, everything, it helps in metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is gradual morphological changes during its life cycle. For that metamorphosis, also this thyroid gland hormones are very essential. Next function is excessive elimination of water through urine. For that also, these thyroid gland hormones are essential for eliminating water through urine. And it enhances the basal metabolic rate. Then what is basal metabolic rate? Basal metabolic rate means the minimum amount number of calories that is required for basic functions. What are the basic functions? Heartbeat, respiration, all those type functions, basic functions. While that person at rest, at that state, how many how much calorie is required? That minimum number of calorie is called basal metabolic rate. Then enhances the basal metabolic rate. Another function, it increase in the thyroxine level may lead to depletion of ATP. ATP level will reduce if the thyroxine level is more. And that the depletion in ATP in turn affects the muscular activity, because muscle contraction relaxation mainly depends on ATP. I think muscle physiology is already taught to you by Elizabeth teacher, and in that chapter muscle contraction physiology you will be taught very detailed about the role of ATP. Okay, leave it. Increase in thyroxine level cause depletion in ATP level, and that decrease reduction that affects the muscular activity. And the last function, it increase the glucose utilization. For as the glucose demand increases, from which source the body find glucose, then more from glycogen. The glycogen resource in the body serves as a resource for generating more glucose for the use of the body. So it increase. Lastly, the thyroid gland hormones increase glucose utilization by mobilizing the glycogen stores that present in the body. And it's regarding its synthesis. For synthesizing the thyroid gland hormones, iodine is very much essential. And its synthesis is regulated by negative feedback. Negative feedback means the increase in some factors. Increase in some factor, which in turn decrease the production synthesis of this thyroid hormone. And then we need to understand what increase. Increase in what cause the decrease in the synthesis? Maybe surely the level of thyroid hormone itself stands as a mark for that negative feedback. Okay, that's about the synthesis. When the body, in the body, when the level of thyroid hormones is high, then the body get a feedback, negative feedback. That is, enough thyroid hormones are there, then don't need to synthesize anymore. There is a negative feedback. Then abnormalities. Abnormalities, one condition is goiter. Goiter is enlargement of thyroid gland. As we all are commonly know what is goiter. You often see in such condition in peoples also. Okay, next slide. No. One before that there is one animation showing how this goiter is happening in a person's body. How that enlargement for that thyroid gland is occurring. Iodine deficiency happens. Iodine deficiency, we know, for the synthesis of thyroid gland hormones, iodine is very necessary, because all the thyroid gland hormones are iodinated derivatives of tyrosine. So iodine is deficient. So the enough amount of thyroid hormones cannot be synthesized. Thyroid gland cannot produce sufficient hormones. That insufficient level of thyroid hormones is sensed by who? There is a regulating unit. We already learned in the last class. hypothalamus and pituitary. Pituitary's anterior end gets stimulated by the information that there is no enough amount of thyroid hormones. Anterior pituitary gets stimulated and it produces TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. It's a releasing hormone from the anterior pituitary. In response to this thyroid stimulating hormone, the thyroid gets stimulated, it increases its size for what? To produce more hormones. But as there is no enough amount of iodine, since then also it cannot produce enough amount of hormones. The only result is an enlarged thyroid gland. That condition is called goiter. I think you understand. Next, then hyperthyroidism is overactive thyroid. Here too much thyroxine and triiodothyronine is produced. And what it results? It results in acceleration of metabolic rate and results in a condition called Graves' disease or exophthalmic goiter. This type peoples also you may see in your vicinities, characterized by enlarged thyroid gland. Here also the thyroid gland is enlarged. Eyes are bulged eyes, increased metabolic rate, weight loss, nervousness, and rapid pulse. All are the symptoms of Graves' disease. Then what's the reason? Reason means mainly of an autoimmune condition. That means our body immune system itself consider our body as its enemy. And in such conditions, our body antibody behaves like TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. And what is the function of this releasing thyroid stimulating hormone? It stimulates the thyroid controllably, even though there is enough amount of thyroxine and triiodothyronine. Then as a result, the size increase and all these effects may happen. Then hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism is underactive of thyroid. Too little amount of T4 and T3. And this results in slowdown. Here acceleration. Here is opposite effect. Slowdown of metabolism. And two conditions may result. Cretinism. Cretinism means hypothyroidism by birth. From birth time onwards. That is cretinism. This image is there. Is cretinism. Okay. From birth time onwards, there is deficiency. Hypothyroidism, inactive thyroid gland, and that may lead to a condition called cretinism. It is characterized by retarded growth, low intelligence, delayed sexual maturity. Then myxedema, it happens in adults having hypothyroidism. This is all the features of myxedemic persons. They are adults. Characterized by physical sluggishness, mental dullness, I'm very active, low metabolic rate, dry coarse skin. Coarse skin means parikkanayittulla skin, puffy face, very puffy face. These are the symptoms. So connected with this thyroid hormones, three diseases we have learned. Goiter is there. Goiter because deficiency of iodine. And then overactive thyroid gland results hyperthyroidism. Underactive led to hypothyroidism. Then the last hormone secreted by thyroid gland, that is calcitonin. It is secreted by parafollicular cells of thyroid gland, a type of cell seen in the thyroid gland. And its action, what is its action? To oppose the action of parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland always try to increase the calcium level in blood. That action is opposed by this calcitonin. It reduces the calcium level in blood. Next slide. Next slide, we are going to see the next gland, that is parathyroid gland, that we just mentioned about that. Parathyroid gland here, it is seen associated with the thyroid gland itself. It is very small gland. And the reason for its name, due to its close association with the thyroid gland, it is called parathyroid gland. And about this gland, it is two pairs. One pair, then second pair. Two pairs of small glands. One pair on each side of dorsal surface of thyroid. One pair is on dorsal surface of thyroid gland. What are the hormones secreted by parathyroid gland? Parathyroid hormone is called parathormone. What is its function? To regulate the blood calcium, to increase the calcium level in blood. And how it increases the calcium level? By removing calcium from bones, teeth, all those things. Whenever it found that the calcium level of blood is low. Then secretion. It is in response to low calcium level in blood. Whenever there is calcium level in the blood is low, it stimulates the parathyroid gland to secrete parathormone, and the parathormone increase the calcium level in blood. And abnormal conditions. Hyper means increase. Parathyroidism is the enlargement of that gland, and its enlargement overaction results high calcium level in blood. Hypo means low action. Insufficient secretion of parathyroid hormone is to increase nerve excitability. Get excited uncontrollably without a regular pattern. That may result tetany of muscles. ഈ മിടിപ്പ് നമുക്ക് ചിലടത്ത് ഇങ്ങനെ ഞരമ്പൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ മിടിക്കുന്ന പോണൊക്കെ മസിൽസ് ആ ഒരു അൺകൺട്രോൾഡ് nerve contraction, nerve excitability may occur, and that may ultimately results in the tetany of muscles, a result of hypoparathyroidism. Next, another gland, pancreas gland. Its location is somewhat here near to the stomach. Duodenum, attached somewhat near to the duodenum. Duodenum is the first curved portion seen after the stomach, beginning portion of the small intestine. There's a peculiarity. The pancreatic gland have dual function, exocrine function and endocrine function is there. What is exocrine? Exocrine means it is also secreting some important substance in body, but that glands have ducts for releasing its secretion to the target tissue. Such type of glands are called the exocrine, and endocrine are called ductless. So pancreas have dual function. It acts as a exocrine as well as endocrine. Its exocrine function is connecting with the digestion. By secreting digestive juice, the secretion of digestive juice by the pancreas is its exocrine function. Then what about its endocrine function? The production of hormones like insulin, glucagon, somatostatin. These action comes under its endocrine function. Then we need to go and understand about the type of cells in the pancreas. Different types of cells are present in pancreas. Main type are islets of Langerhans and acinar cells. And this islets of Langerhans always produce the hormones, and the acinar cells produce digestive enzymes. And in these islets of Langerhans itself, two types of, again there is classification of the cells of the islets of Langerhans again classified into two, alpha and beta. And this alpha cell secrete glucagon, and its function is to break down of liver glycogen. The glycogen that is stored in the liver is breaking down to release glucose. And that action, breakdown of liver glycogen, is done by glucagon hormone. It is secreted by the alpha cells of islets of Langerhans of pancreas gland. Then beta cells secrete insulin. What is its function? It lower the blood glucose level. Whenever if the body find that the body fluid how high amount of glucose, then insulin will be secreted from the pancreas. Then that insulin reduce the level of sugar in body fluids. And that occurs how there is a separate mechanism that insulin transport the excess glucose to the liver and convert it to glycogen and store inside the liver. That is actually happening there. Then abnormal condition is hyperglycemia. You need to, while studying all the glands, you need to make it clear and confident about all the abnormal conditions occurring because of all the hormones, because those abnormalities can be asked as 1 mark question also. Okay. Then hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia means a deficiency of insulin. As insulin is deficient, there may result in rise in the level of glucose. That rise in glucose level may lead to the excessive excretion of glucose through urine. That condition is called diabetes mellitus, excessive excretion of glucose through urine. It's about its abnormality. Next, another gland, that is the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland we can see as the form of cap on the top of the kidney. And so its position atop one on each kidney, and its parts can be divided into outer cortex and inner medulla. Outer cortex is very essential. Without this cortex portion, we can't survive. But regarding the medulla, even if the medulla part of that adrenal gland is removed, then also that person can live. Then adrenal cortex. We are going to learn about the cortex portion. The cortex itself, here is a cross section. This is this cat's outer capsule. Then this portion is called the cortex, and this one inner region is called medulla. This cortex itself is divided into three regions. Three regions we can see. Outer is called zona glomerulosa, middle is called zona vesiculatum, and the inner layer is called zona reticularis. These three are the three zones of adrenal cortex. And this outer zona glomerulosa secrete the hormone mineralocorticoids. Then middle zona vesiculata secrete glucocorticoids. And inner zona reticularis secrete gonadocorticoids, or otherwise called sex hormones. All these hormones are steroids. Okay. Then ACTH. ACTH means adrenal corticotropic hormone regulatory. And it regulates the secretion of cortical hormones released by pituitary. And then we are going to understand more about mineralocorticoids. All the hormones secreted by cortex separately. First is mineralocorticoids. It is secreted by outer cortex. Outer cortex means zona glomerulosa. Zona glomerulosa secretes this mineralocorticoids. Among the mineralocorticoids, the important one is aldosterone. What is its function? It controls salt and water balance in the body. And it acts in kidney and helps the kidney for the reabsorption of sodium ions and water, that we already learned in the excretion physiology. In that chapter, the hormones that regulating excretion, that part we learned about the role of aldosterone there. To remember that. In deficiency of mineralocorticoid led to a disease called Addison's disease. That can be asked as 1 mark question. That Addison disease is characterized by hypertension, dizziness means thalaggital, and muscular weakness. Next slide. Then glucocorticoids. It is secreted by middle cortex, zona fasciculata. Middle cortex is called zona fasciculata. Main type of glucocorticoid is called cortisol. What is its role? It increases blood glucose level. How it increases the glucose level? By promoting gluconeogenesis. What is gluconeogenesis? It is synthesis of glucose from no carbohydrate substances. Glucocorticoids means it increases the blood glucose level by promoting gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis means synthesis of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources. Which are non-carbohydrate sources? Like proteins and fats. Next, other glucocorticoids also present. They are cortisone and corticosterone. Then what about is hypersecretion? If glucocorticoids are secreted in overdose, it results in syndrome called the Cushing's syndrome. It is characterized by hyperglycemia, reduced tissue proteins, hypertension, weakness, and edema needed. All these things, all these symptoms, or everything you should be by hearted. Then gonadocorticoids, the last type of hormone secreted by cortex. Inner cortex. Inner cortex means zona reticularis. Zona reticularis secretes this gonadocorticoids. They are all sex hormones. They are called androgens and estrogen. They are produced only in minimal amount. What happens if it is produced overdose? It results in masculinization females. Females will develop muscles. And also in males it leads to gynecomastia. Gynecomastia means excessive overdevelopment of breast in males like that of females. And these are the condition that will result when gonadocorticoids is produced in overdose. That we are going to learn about adrenal medulla. Medulla, that means the inner region of the adrenal gland. Hormones produced by adrenal medulla are epinephrine and norepinephrine. Epinephrine otherwise called adrenaline, norepinephrine called noradrenaline. These hormones always make us to these hormones help us to cope up with some emergency situation, to how to handle emergency situation when a dog is coming running and to bite us, or whenever there is a fire, unexpected fire, if we fall in water, all those emergency situations, these hormones all become very critical. These hormones are amines derived from tyrosine. When it is secreted, secreted upon the stimulation of sympathetic nerve, and when that stimulation occurs in stressful situation. Then what are the effects of epinephrine? When epinephrine is secreted in our body, that may result in increased heart rate. That is what when we see a dog, that dog very from far itself, if that dog is stays at us, we got frightened. Our heartbeat may rise, and we are in our mind we think that what we have to do, whether we need to run or to take a stone. All these things are the effects of these hormones. It increases the heart rate, elevates blood glucose, stimulate oxidative metabolism, and is called an emergency hormone. Then last one, norepinephrine. It also causes similar effects, rise in blood pressure. It is secreted upon the stimulation of sympathetic ganglia. And that sympathetic ganglia of the autonomic nervous system actually helps in secreting this hormone, norepinephrine. With this, we finish today's section. Thank you.